A series of unexplained explosions has been reported near the Strait of Hormuz, just as Iran and the United States appear to be moving closer to a potential agreement. According to Iran International, at least 3 explosions were heard south of Qeshm Island, raising fresh questions about security in one of the world's most strategic waterways. Reports suggest additional explosions were heard near Sirik and along maritime routes connected to the Strait of Hormuz, though details remain limited. Iran's Mehr news agency attributed the incidents to activities linked to traffic management operations, offering a possible non-military explanation for the blasts. Despite the reports, Iranian authorities have yet to provide a detailed official explanation regarding the cause of the explosions. The developments come as President Donald Trump says a potential agreement between Washington and Tehran could be finalized within days. Vice President JD Vance has stressed that the next phase will depend on Iran's willingness to fulfill its obligations under any future agreement.
Vice President Vance here to talk a little bit about what is in the Iran deal, the great peace deal that the President of the United States made last night. Number one, what this deal means is that the Straits of Hormuz are open immediately. You're already seeing oil and gas prices come down just over the past 24 hours. Number two, it ensures that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. And we have to back up for a second and appreciate that what the president has done is completely decimated Iran's nuclear program. Now, this deal really has 2 pathways. On the one hand, if the Iranians make the long-term commitments never to rebuild, then they're going to be welcomed into the world economy. If, on the other hand, they try to rebuild that nuclear program, they're never going to have the resources in order to do so. So it's a win-win for the American people. We ensure Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon either way. And now it's really up to the Iranians. Over the next few months, we're going to see if they're serious about dismantling that program for the long term. If they do, the president has said, we want their country to be successful. But what we know is that our country is successful thanks to great presidential leadership and a lot of good decisions.
According to Axios, U.S. forces will remain deployed in the region until a formal nuclear agreement is reached and implemented. Even as diplomacy advances, Washington appears determined to maintain military pressure while negotiations enter what officials describe as a critical final stage. While President Trump continues to push for a breakthrough agreement, the Pentagon is keeping its military posture in place across the region. The White House says talks are making progress, but any reduction in U.S. military deployments remains on hold for now. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says discussions on a broader nuclear settlement can only proceed after an interim agreement is successfully concluded.
I'm very happy to say it's signed, the deal's all signed, and the strait is already partially opened. As you know, they're doing a little hunting for a couple of mines that they've already found, but it's essentially ships are starting to go out. Now, on Friday, it'll be completely opened. But I think a lot of great things are going to happen in the Middle East right now. And very importantly, the oil is plummeting down, and the stock market is shooting up like a rocket today, like record kind of numbers. And the oil has taken its biggest plunge, and we're into the low numbers, not quite back yet, Kevin, to the extent, but we're getting close to the numbers we were before it all started. And the main thing is that Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. They fully agreed to that with strong policing powers, and they won't have a nuclear weapon, which is what it was all about, because they probably would have used it if they had it. We've done a great job, and hopefully it's going to be a good relationship, and we're going to get along. And if we don't, we go back to where we started, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. The Iran deal that we made is going to bring a lot of success to the world, because the oil was really clogged up there for a while. He would call me on occasion and say, come on, please, let's go with the oil prices. But the oil is coming way down, so I'm very honored by it. Well, it depends. JD's coming in for it. He was originally going to do it. I'll probably be gone by then. We're having dinner in a day and a half, right? We're going to be staying quite late. So I may be involved, I may not. I would say, I want it to be released because it's a very powerful document. It's not like the Obama document, which was just a terrible document. This is a very powerful document, and I want it to be released. So probably pretty soon. I would say sometime after Friday.
Mr. President, does the deal involve any sanctions relief for Iran? When would that go into effect?
No, it doesn't. Well, they have to. It's really a behavioral thing. If they do what they're supposed to do, that starts taking effect. I don't think we're going to need much help because we have an agreement where it's going to be open. And it's toll-free. We had a little argument on that. It's toll-free. So I don't think we're going to need much help. But I don't think it's a bad idea to have a ship or two up here from a few countries. You'd be a great country to do it, because you never know what happens. But I think it's going to be open, and I think it's going to be free sailing. We do want to see if we can straighten out the Lebanon thing, because it just seems to just never end. And that's a mini version of what we were doing, and it should not be tough.
24 ساعت گذشته با تحولات مهمی مواجه بودیم.
Over the past 24 hours, we have witnessed major developments. The finalization of a memorandum of understanding between Iran and the United States to bring an end to the war imposed on Iran by the United States and the Zionist regime across all fronts, including Lebanon, was a highly significant development. It was a product of the steadfastness and legendary resistance of the Iranian people in the face of aggression and crimes committed by two rogue actors equipped with every material capability. Lebanon and the end of the war in Lebanon are an inseparable part of the agreement to end the war. This at the end of the war on all fronts, including Lebanon, and respect for Lebanon's sovereignty and territorial integrity. I think this phrase is completely clear about what issues any agreement on this matter must include. It is on the agenda that, before the Geneva meeting, a visit will take place to some countries in the region. The release of Iran's frozen or restricted assets, alongside the issue of compensation for damages, are two important economic matters. The American side is committed to taking action in both cases. The issue of making Iran's frozen funds accessible is being considered as Iran's right, not as something where the American side is supposed to give money to Iran. This issue is very important, and necessary measures have been considered in this regard. The Strait of Hormuz is important to us. The Islamic Republic of Iran, as a coastal state together with Oman, will take the necessary measures to ensure the safe passage of ships through this strait. For a specified period of time, we will also, in parallel with the actions of the opposing side, take measures to manage the safe passage of traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. The United States is committed and obligated to implement the commitments it has been bound to under this Memorandum of Understanding. In principle, any violation of the agreement by other actors and the United States allies in the region will also fall under the responsibility of the American side. The United States should fulfill its commitments it has undertaken under this Memorandum of Understanding. And it must ensure that the Zionist regime also implements the relevant obligations regarding the cessation of the war in Lebanon. Failure to comply with these commitments will, in principle, lead to reciprocal action by Iran.